Speaking of Raymond, I know your career continues to move forward, but I do have to ask you, with the passing of Peter Boyle, do you ever foresee Everybody Loves Raymond reunion on CBS, or has there ever been talk of one?
No, that'll never happen, and Ray isn't the type to would ever do that anyway. Like Seinfeld, Ray knew when to go out, and we very few guys. To this day, nobody made the money on TV that Ray did in the last 2 years of the show, and it's going to be quite a while till anyone does, because the landscape of television has changed greatly, and actors on hit shows are making 1/3 of what was made 10 years ago. It's just a different climate now, with the internet and with studios and with TV. It's different. My point being, the money he turned down to just do a year 10 was unfathomable. But what's great about Ray is it's all about the craft, and he knew we were out of stories, and he really wanted to go out on top. And we knew there would really never be a reunion, but with the passing of Peter, it would never ever. Out of respect, out of the love we have for Peter, he was such a huge part of that show, and to try to do anything along that line would not only not be Ray's vision, but it wouldn't be respectful to Peter.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, but he was hysterical.
Peter Boyle.
How PG is what we're doing right now? We're on the internet. Can we tell?
There's no rating. We're actually rated mature, and we drop the F-bomb quite frequently. So feel free to,
I'll tell you a great Peter Boyle story. Can I?
Yes.
And I'm not speaking out of school, though it will sound like I am, because I've told this story in front of Boyle, God bless him, when he was alive. Peter, couldn't have been further from the Frank character he played. He was very educated. He was really very astute when it came to politics, to world affairs, to what a lot of people don't know is John Lennon was Peter Boyle's best man at his wedding.
Wow.
Because Peter Boyle, and to this day when he passed, he was married to Lorraine, who was a journalist for Rolling Stone magazine. She was best friends with Yoko. And so when Peter and Peter met Lorraine when he was doing Young Frankenstein, Rolling Stone was doing a feature on the movie and interviewed Peter, and he met Lorraine, and that was it. So when they got married, it was a small wedding. Yoko stood up for Lorraine, and John Lennon walks in to stand up for Peter. So This is the little stuff that so many people don't know, but it's just a great. And Peter never talked about his relationship with Lennon because very few people know it. He was just a humble guy. He was at where Peter was great, and when we started this show, Ray and I were we were stand-ups, and I didn't know Ray, and Ray didn't know me, which was weird because we were on the road as stand-ups for years. We knew of each other, we just never ran into each other. But Ray was like, man, can you believe Peter Boyle is going to be playing our dad? And we were such fans, and I was like, I know, at Young Frankenstein. And he says, you kind of look like Frankenstein, so maybe they'll believe he's our dad, And then we were just laughing. So about 4 or 5 years into the show, we discovered that Peter Boyle had a flatulence problem. The guy gave farts a bad name. And it became an issue. Not an issue like, an issue, a funny issue of like, who's going to stand next to Peter in this scene. You know what I mean? It became kind of like an ongoing joke. And it wasn't grotesque or anything that was audible, but it was something that would enter the fucking room, and you never forgot it. And when we would have guest casts, Ray's like, we got a guest cast on the on the show today, and, she's going to think it's me, and, when she smells it. And I'm like, Ray, first of all, they always think it's the biggest guy in the room. That's just the way life is. Whenever a bad odor comes, they always look at it's probably the big Jew in the corner who can't control himself because he has a blowhole and flippers. You know what I mean. So this was like our thing. So no one says anything to Peter because, you know, it's still only 4 or 5 years into the show. But it's this one scene, one of the episodes near the end of the 5th year, and we're all standing outside the door before we're all supposed to enter to do a scene. The audience is there, the whole thing. And one of the cameras breaks down, so the director calls for like a 5-minute hold. So it's me, Peter, Doris, and Patty. We're waiting outside for our cue light to go on so we could enter into the kitchen. And God bless Peter, he just lets one go. And it's, you know, Doris's makeup starts to run. You know, one of Patty's fake tits deflates. I mean, it's really just, okay. And Peter, God love him, looks up and he goes, first time in 5 years, he goes, sorry. He says, but I got to tell you, I got 3 more coming. So this just shows you he had such a problem that he even knew how many were left in the chamber. This is how you know when you're asked. This is how you know when you have a serious problem.